All right, y'all, strap on in. This might be a long video. It might not be. I don't know, but just be prepared. This might go on the longer side. Welcome to the NBA season. Back to Nets basketball, all that shenanigans. I guess I'll start out by saying Giannis is really, really good. Like, really, really good. And to a casual viewer, maybe that's like, well, not does ever. But I've had a very strong history of not respecting Giannis or the Bucks for the longest time. I didn't take him seriously in last year. I thought they got really lucky. They ran into a lot of injured teams. Basically, every team they played was injured except for, I guess, the Wizards. But like, I'm not someone who has a lot of respect for them. But after tonight and after them winning a championship, you can tell the confidence is like all the way up here. And Giannis specifically is just incredible. I mean, they lose Drew Holiday in like the first quarter, and their defense somehow improved. Giannis is just unstoppable. Was it like 17 rebounds? How much did that nigga have? I mean, he almost had a triple double, and I don't even think he was trying. Giannis is really, really good, and I just want to make sure that I say that yes, they are the defending champions. Yes, a good bit of their roster is hurt, but they are really, really good, and that's not on some cop out stuff. I just want to make it clear that you will get no Giannis disrespect from me whatsoever, because that guy, even though he does have a history of purposefully injuring people, that guy is just really fucking good, and it just needs to be said from me. Now that that's out of the way, we got to talk about the Nets, man. What I feared was going to happen ended up happening. I never said it on camera because, I mean, I've been saying a lot of things lately that niggas don't agree with, so like I didn't want to like pile it all on at once, but this is what ended up happening, and it seems like this is going to be the return of a dub is a dub if we can manage to win games, because some of the same issues are still very much apparent. Where I kind of patted Steve Nash on the back in our last preseason game about his rotations. That whole thing went out the fucking window because he had like, God, like we went like, what, 8 niggas deep at least? Maybe 8, barely like 9. Like, how the fuck Bruce Brown doesn't play until like the end of the fourth quarter in garbage time, that is so fucking beyond me. I don't understand how LaMarcus Aldridge barely gets to play. It's just weird shit. Paul Millsap got benched after the first. I mean, it was just weirdo shit. So it's like we got to go back to, okay, Steve Nash doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So you just kind of add that into, okay, that's like last year. Then with the individuals who got to play, and I hate to say this about Claxton because you know I fucks with Claxton, and we all got to take an L because we wanted him to start, and God, look what happened. But with the individuals, and yes, Claxton started in case you didn't watch the game. For all the individuals who did get minutes, them niggas is soft, and I know that might be met with, I don't know the word, like you might cringe at that, but them niggas is soft. And you had a bunch of soft-ass niggas out there, and they was getting smacked around by Milwaukee. The refs were treating this like a playoff game, and Milwaukee was being super fucking aggressive, and the fucking paper bags we had out there was not getting the job done. Joe fucking Harris is not checking anyone out there. It's just not happening. I don't know how the fuck this nigga keeps getting minutes. Like, it's not, that's not the move. It's not going to work. Joe is going to keep getting fucking cooked. It's not going to fucking work. But then we got to get over to something else. Because again, since we're in the a dub is a dub mentality, we know they don't fucking play defense. And if you're not going to play your defensive players, then, I mean, again, Steve Nash is a fucking idiot, so it's like we already know the coaching is ass. We already know them niggas are not going to play defense. So again, this is a lot like last year. But here's the main difference, unfortunately, and this is the part I kind of figured was going to happen, and another reason why I've been quietly pushing for the Ben Simmons thing, but I just didn't want to do too much on camera because if they figured it out, it would have looked like an asshole. But now it's time to just fucking come out and say the shit. The balance of the team is destroyed with no Kyrie. And you're looking at the camera like, oh, so you're going to pull the Kyrie thing out your ass? You kind of have to, because if James Harden is not going to attempt to score, and it's just, if he's not going to attempt to score, and you know what KD does. He goes out there and he won't even attempt a shot until the second quarter. He just kind of stands around until the third quarter where he decides to turn it on. But it's like, if we're down 20, like, what the fuck is he going to do by himself, right? So it's like, for all intents and purposes, to begin the game, James Harden isn't going to take a shot because he's trying to facilitate, right? KD's not going to take a shot until the second quarter because he's so unselfish or whatever. That leaves you with Joe Harris, who can't get his own shot. And it's real easy to stop him. Just deny the three-point line. Then you got Blake Griffin, and they don't let Blake play how Blake likes to play. So it's like, he's just kind of out there to play defense, I guess. So he's not scoring. And then you got fucking Claxton. And Claxton is not going to get his own shot. And even if you try to do the lob shit, Claxton is like, he's so, this is the best way to describe Claxton. Let me show you this. This is the best way to describe Claxton. This is Claxton, right? No offense, but that's fucking Claxton right there. And that shit is not going to fucking work. You're not lobbing to Capella. You're not lobbing to DeAndre Jordan. You're lobbing to Claxton. And that's just not going to fucking work when you've got the fucking, I don't want to say Twin Towers because I feel like that's in really poor taste this close to a 9/11 anniversary, but like when you got fucking Brook Lopez and Giannis out there, Claxton's not going to be able to get his shit off. That nigga was scraping himself off the floor after every fucking play, especially with how aggressive they were letting Milwaukee play. So the fucking balance is destroyed. If James Harden isn't going to try to score, if Claxton is incapable of scoring on his own, if Kevin Durant's not going to score until like the third quarter, for whatever reason, unselfish, whatever you want to fucking call that shit, if Blake needs the ball to be effective on the offensive end, Joe Harris can't get a shot on his own. I think I might already said Joe Harris, but like, that's all five players that are not going to score. Whereas if Kyrie's out there, Kyrie's just going to just jack shit up. He's going to be the volume scorer who says, fuck it, I don't care about my percentages. I'll be the guy that takes the fucking shot, because it can't just be James Harden is wide open for three and then does a weird pump fake and tries to shuffle the pass over to Clax. Take the fucking shot. Kevin, if you get George Hill on you in the post in the first quarter, take that nigga. You know what I mean? Don't swing that shit over to the top of the key for Blake. Like, you know what I mean? Shoot that shit. If them niggas ain't gonna shoot, that's normally when Kyrie would come in and he does his Kyrie shit. But with no Kyrie Irving there, you don't have the volume scorer who's not, unselfish. And it fucking suffers. No one's gonna take the fucking shot. And then we end up down 20 points before niggas say, okay, it's time to get serious. Like, that's just that's just how that shit works. The solution for that is if James Harden goes back to fucking scoring. Because KD is not, there's no other version of Kevin Durant. That's just who that nigga is. Like, there's no other version of that. We are aware that there is a version of James Harden that he could tap into at any moment. You saw the few times he fucking decided, okay, I'm going to go to the fucking rim and, right? Like, it's there. He's just not doing it because he's trying to facilitate. But nigga, facilitate to who? Kyrie's not out there anymore. So you have to be the aggressor. You have to do that bullshit where you're jumping between your legs 500 times and step back and shit. You got to go back to doing that shit. But if he's not going to fucking do that shit and you never address the Kyrie shit, then you're not going to be able to fucking score. And it doesn't matter what Patty Mills is doing off the bench. We're down 20. So if James Harden, and it's just, again, just like last year, it's a shame we have to put so much on him, but if you don't have a competent head coach and the team is not going to play defense because you're not putting the necessary people in there to do so, again, Paul Millsap gets benched in the first fucking, what the fuck? if James Harden is not going to attempt to score and he's going to keep doing this facilitator thing, that's where, I lean towards the direction of, well, find a way to get, Ben Simmons or some shit like that. Because it's like, yeah, the nigga won't score, but he's tall, he can play defense, so that's cool. But if you let that nigga run point and James Harden can just go back to being a shooting guard and just drop 60, like, you know what I mean? That helps out. And if you don't want to get somebody like that and you want to keep doing this internally and just ignore the fact that Kyrie not being out there is a large problem for us, then I don't know, fucking start Javon Carter or something and let Patty Mills run the team with the second squad or some shit like that. But it's just like Harden has to go back to score, because if you don't do that, then there's no one to score because Kyrie's not there. And if you're not going to do anything about the Kyrie shit and you're just going to let him sit at home, do you see what I mean? Do you see the fucking paradox here? Do you see the fucking purgatory that we're in? It's so much deeper than, oh, they were fouling Kevin Durant. The calls didn't go our way. Like it's a real fucking problem. And until that shit is addressed, we're looking at the dub is a dub mentality. Them niggas just outscore people, allegedly, assuming the team's not God level. We just outscore niggas and hope for the best. We'll just ISO KD our way back into the playoffs and hope that shit works. Or you can address the problem. That's what made everything so interesting going into the season. That's why Brooklyn fans was talking shit, because we had the fucking big three back and an assortment of other great pieces. But if you take away Kyrie, that shit is only still scary hours in theory, because if Harden's not going to fucking score, then it's just ISO KD again. And we saw what that got us. It's not a 1-2 punch if the nigga's not going to score. But again, it's just multiple things. Hopefully, I'm not saying the same thing every single game, because there are 81 more games left in the season, so hopefully I'm not saying the same shit over and over again. And yeah, it's the first game, I know, but assuming they turn this all around and they go on a winning streak, I would have never gotten a chance to say this, so, I guess let me know what you think down below. I don't really give a shit, but let me know what you think down below. And hopefully come Friday, they have figured something out. Either James Harden is going to score more, or you just bench Joe Harris, and I don't know. Like, I don't want to hit the Cam Thomas button so soon, but I mean, like, you got to do something. Like, does Patty Mills start at shooting guard then? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I just know you have to replace what Kyrie was doing. And if James is not going to assume that position, you have to put someone in the lineup that can get their own shot that's not unselfish. Because KD's going to wait until the third quarter to start really turning it on every single night. And I don't think we want to go into third quarters down 20 every single night. That's not a good look. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. It's the first game of the season. Just wanted to acknowledge all the things that was like bringing up to my, I don't know the right words, that was in my frontal lobe that I just felt like I should say. Yeah, this video's long enough. See you motherfuckers later. Bye.